Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to film my weekly check-ins for week 1 and week 2. I honestly thought that I was going to upload week 1 on its own like I typically would, but as you guys know, I did upload my sinking funds as well as cash envelope stuffing video pretty late, I believe last week. So I just thought that it'd be a better idea to just combine week 1 and week 2. So that's kind of what I'm going to be doing today. I've already laid down all of my budget expense stickers. Yes, all of them here for both week 1 through week 2, which since the 1st of May was on a Saturday, I went ahead and combined and added that to week 1. I typically like to weekly check in from Monday through Sunday, but this time around it was, I believe, from the 1st all the way until the 9th, Mother's Day. And then the second week would be from the 10th until the 16th. So we're pretty much going to be covering half of the month, which I hope you guys don't mind. I definitely don't want to leave things until the last minute like I did for last month. So I'm really trying to get back into the groove of tracking my expenses, budgeting, and filming videos for you guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to set up my weekly check-in spreads on these 2 pages. So I typically like to set up my weekly check-in before my sinking funds, but right after my budget spread here. So I'm going to go through and lay down my stickers really quickly, and then we'll go ahead and check in for week 1 and week 2 separately. Alright, so I just went ahead and made my lines. Everything was looking great, but I think they're a little crooked, which is fine, it's fine. And I have quite a bit of stickers in this planner and I'm almost done, so it just makes sense that that's the way that it is. But I'm going to go ahead and break up my weeks for you guys. Like I mentioned, I said that week 1 was going to be from the 1st until the 9th, then week 2, the 10th until the 16th. Week 3 will be from the 17th until the 23rd. And week 4 will be from the 24th until the 31st. Just so I don't leave that one on its own. So 24th until the 31st. It's just how things turned out since the 1st was on Saturday, like I mentioned. And now I'm going to just go ahead and take this result script and lay that down on top of what could have been week 5. It honestly just depends on how you're breaking up your weeks, but for me, I only ended up with 4 weeks here. So now I'm going to go ahead and write down my categories that I like to weekly check in for, which would be my cash envelopes, and I also like to have a section for any unbudgeted expenses. So just quickly going to go through and writing down my categories. So groceries, you have household, eating out, I have allowance, beauty, gas, and then I'll have unbudgeted in here as well. So I'll go ahead and write it out for week 2 as well, since we're going to be weekly checking in for that week as well. Like I mentioned, I typically like to weekly check in per week, but this is just how things turned out, which is okay. I just have to adjust for this month, and in order to be on top of my finances, which I don't mind at all. So this might just be a little bit of a longer video. I mean, I did go ahead and lay down my expense tracking stickers though, so I think it should be pretty good. Now, I do have this rollover section in the weekly check-ins, which I did roll over some money from last month. And I have that here actually. I have my pocket planner. I didn't go ahead and change into pocket envelopes. I'm still using the pink hollow ones that I showed in my cash envelope stuffing video. But I do have my trackers in here. So I have trackers for all of my cash envelopes in here. So of course, groceries, household, I hope you guys can see that. Eating out, allowance, beauty, and gas. So I'm gonna go ahead and look through these and see which ones I rolled over. I know I didn't roll over. I don't typically roll over money for groceries. Did I roll over for household? No, I did not. So 0 here. I don't think eating out either. I think I might have just rolled over money from my beauty. Yeah, I think so. So that is the only one that I'm rolling over money for, which is completely fine. But I think it's really nice to have this category, especially if you're a paycheck to paycheck budgeter and you do, let's say, stuff your envelopes twice or 3 times a month. I think this is a really, really helpful section for you. Okay, so for rollover, I rolled over $57.80 for beauty. And then nothing for gas. And then, of course, nothing for unbudgeted because we don't budget anything for that. So now, I think I'll go ahead and focus on week 1 first and then move on from there. So from the 1st until the 9th, let's go ahead and take a look at groceries. I'm also going to grab my marker. I grab one of these from Erin Condren. I think I want to do... I kind of want to do this one. Yeah, I'll try this one. I have this key here, which I made with a washi card from a Simply Gilded subscription and a coil clip connector from EC. So I just have that in here. I will be changing it once I get a new planner for my budget because I'm almost done with this one, like I mentioned, next month. But I have, of course, unbudgeted is red, groceries is this rosy color from my neutrals collection, eating out is the light pink, allowance is fog, also from my neutrals collection, beauty is teal, gas is purple, other is yellow, and household is the clay color, which is also from my neutrals collection. I have a variety of colors here and I love to just see them in my monthly view as I'm spending money. So let's go ahead and see. I have one transaction for groceries the first week, which was actually for Instacart. This was my first time, and I can go ahead and check off bills like my gym membership, my car payment, renter's insurance, and car insurance. Lots of bills there. But like I was saying, this was my first time trying out Instacart, and to be honest, I mentioned this to my patrons, but let's see, I spent 36 and then I did budget 200 in the beginning, 240 in the beginning of the month. The 240 minus 3603 means that I had 203 with 97 cents remaining. So we'll just go through and write that in, which is getting a little bit tough with the coil and how full my planner is. But just to give you guys a little recap, which I probably will mention if I end up filming my plan with me video, I realized that you have to be very, very specific when you order groceries on Instacart, and that is definitely something that I've learned from this experience. But since I didn't have my car, I actually just got my car back from my dad last week. And I couldn't, of course, drive to the grocery store. I thought that I would just, use Instacart because I had, I think, a free delivery or something like that. So, I mean, I liked it. I liked the convenience of it, but you have to be very specific. Like, I know I asked for 2 cloves of garlic, and the guy ended up getting me like 2 full things of garlic, which comes with like 5 cloves. So I have garlic for months now, which is funny to me, but that's okay. So that was what I spent for groceries. Then nothing for household this week. No, I did spend it. the week after that. So I'll put 0 here. For household, eating out, I did spend $12 at a cafe in Palm Springs. This was during the Palm Springs girls trip. And then I went to grab brunch with my friend Karen and Kimberly, which are 2 of the girls that went to the Palm Springs trip the week before. So that was really fun. Love spending time with them. So that is a total of $39.50 for eating out. The household, I still had 100 left. And eating out, I said $39.50. And I am beginning with 100. I did also go ahead and tip that day of the brunch, which I have a whole section in my monthly view where I show that, which I will show you guys in a second. Let me see, I have 60 with 50 cents left. So in here on the side of like the notes section, I like to put my tips and when I give them out. So I have, I believe, $20 in tips for the month and $5 went to the brunch. So it was in total $32.50, but $5 came out with tips and $27.50 came out of my envelope. So that was for eating out. Then for allowance, I have one expense for some bralettes that I got from Target. I think I saw those on TikTok and I was like, oh, those look really nice. So I bought 3 of them for $33.78. So that I took out of my allowance cash envelope. And for allowance, I always give myself 100 per month. So 100 minus $33.78 means that I have 66, or I had 22 remaining for the rest of the month. Now for beauty, I feel like I spent so much money this week on just beauty products. I went to get my nails, I got my nails done on the 3rd, that was $120. And then Ulta, I ended up buying a beauty blender and I believe a concealer that I was running low on. So I spent $32.31 for Ulta. Then I bought my hair dye on Amazon. I think I bought like 4 boxes, I believe, and that was $25.32. And then I also went to Sally's to get the developer because I was running low on that. I think I got like a rat tail comb and sort of like conditioner for after dyeing your hair. So that came out to $27, $204 with 63 cents. So I did spend $120 on my nails, but as you guys know, if you guys have been watching my channel, my nails typically last me anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks. So I honestly do not mind paying $120 per month. So in total, as I was saying, I spent $204 with 63 cents. And the good thing was that I did roll over quite a bit of money. So now that equals to $53.17, which is a pretty good amount. Honestly, I do think I might end up needing another beauty product, but for now, honestly, I'm all set with like hair dye, with my nails for the month, most likely. Yeah, because since I don't have my next appointment until the very beginning of June. So I am all good and all set with beauty stuff. And then lastly, I did not pump gas since this was the week that I had just gotten my car back. Or was it this week? One of these weeks. I think I got it back on the 9th. So I still have, I think I budgeted, yeah, I only budgeted $40 and I should be more than okay with that. Although I have been hearing that gas has gone up quite a bit. I haven't had to pump gas in weeks. So I'm sure this is not going to be enough to fill up my tank, but I think it should be enough for me for the month, considering that I haven't had the need to pump gas. And then for unbudgeted, there are no red stickers in the first week. So I'm going to just put 0 and then a dash. And so that was the first week, and moving on to the second week, I think I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll lay down my no spend stickers after. I'm also not going to be checking in for Mother's Day since that has an other category sticker, and those I typically check off at the end of the month when I'm doing my budget results, because I do have a category for that. As you guys can see, I only budgeted 100, so I am over budget already for Mother's Day, which I'll talk a little bit more about in that video, I think, just because we're weekly checking in today. But yeah, I did overspend a little bit on Mother's Day, but it was really fun. My dad actually made Cajun shrimp. It was really, really good, and I ended up pitching in for a dessert that week. So anyways, for now, for the second week, I'm going to just make dashes all down here, since I only typically utilize the rollover section here in the very beginning of the month, since I only stuff my envelopes once a month. So now for groceries, let's take a look. I have two expenses, one on the 10th for $92.87, and then one on the 14th for $11.29. So in total, that is $104.16. I actually had to pick up some last minute things to make the cupcakes for my sister's birthday lunch. And I actually made those cupcakes on camera during a live stream for my patrons, which was really fun. So in total, I spent $104.16, and as you guys saw, I had two of $3.97. So now, remaining for the rest of the month, I have $99.81, which I think should be good. We do still have 2 more weeks, so I will definitely have to keep that in mind for the next week or so. Next, I think there was one household. Yes, I bought, I think, some wipes from Target, and those came out to $10.49. So that's all that I spent for household. So then let's go ahead and subtract it from the 100. I have $89.51 remaining for household, which should be great. Honestly, we will have to stock up on toilet paper, napkins, maybe paper towels, and stuff like that. I think that's all that I can think of right now. But since I have quite a bit for household, I might end up telling Paul that I'm going to take care of that, so then that way he buys more groceries, and that's kind of how we're gonna go about that, I think. Next, for eating out, I don't have any expenses, so I didn't spend any money for eating out this past week, so I still have the $60.50 here. Next, for allowance, nothing. I've actually spent quite a bit of my sinking funds, or I've spent from my sinking funds, so definitely let you guys in on that in a little bit, but I've spent quite a bit of money from there. Next, beauty. Nothing again. Yeah, I don't have anything for beauty, and I know for sure none for gas either, so still have $53.17 for beauty and $40 for gas. And then unfortunately, I did have an unbudgeted expense on the 16th. I overspent on gifts just because I didn't think that I was going to spend as much as I did for my brother-in-law Joel's birthday. And so that kind of took a little bit out of what I was planning to spend on my sister for her birthday, which was on the 16th. So I ended up being over budget on gifts by $33.31. Which is honestly not the end of the world. I'm going to check this off, but it is kind of sad that I am already, over budget on both things, Mother's Day and gifts. I honestly just think it has to do with the fact that I had so many holidays like Mother's Day, and I also had my mom's birthday last month, and my sister's, Joel's, my friend Claudia's, and it's just a lot of birthdays all in all. So, and I definitely know that, let's say in the next few months, things are not going to be like this anymore, because I don't have, you know, family members or friends with birthdays in the summer really. So that is my life, and that means that I'm over by 33.31. So that is what I'm going to put there. And so this is the numbers that I'm ending for this week and what I have left over for the rest of the month. I think I'm doing pretty good with my numbers. You guys will definitely have to stay tuned for next week to see how I do for the very last week of the month. But so far, I think I might have overspent a little bit on groceries here and there, but I think I should be good because I have money from household that I can take for those things. I'm going to lay down some no spend stickers. I also have payday stickers too. So I have payday, no spend. So payday, I'll go ahead and put up here on the 4th and the 11th. And then no spends, I'll go ahead and lay down on this day. I think I only had one on the first week. On the 11th. Even if I have a bill, I will still not consider that a no spend day, just because I do still have to pay for like student loans, which I would rather not have, but you know, that's okay. And then I have one more on the 15th. Is that all? Okay, so I only have 4 no spend days for the first 2 weeks, which is kind of shocking, but that is okay. It's always, I think, fun for me to just count my no spend days. At least for me, it makes budgeting a lot more fun than not doing so. So that's going to be pretty much it for the weekly check-in part of this video. Now I'm going to move on to my sinking funds and my transaction log, because I have made quite a few transactions here, as you guys can see. So let's go ahead and go through them. On the 2nd, I spent $5 from my adventures fund, and it was just a little extra. I think everybody sent Christian, which was the person who booked the Airbnb, an extra $5 because he did, I believe, buy groceries or something like that. So I took that out of my adventures. Then for miscellaneous, also on the 2nd, I spent $27.43 for a Bionico, which if you guys don't know what a Bionico is, you should definitely look it up. It's so good. It has a lot of fruit, granola, coconut shaving, the best. Anyways, I ended up buying that because that day my mom wanted to make a little party with like close family members to celebrate us getting our citizenship. So I did just want to contribute with that, and I just took that out of, once again, my miscellaneous sinking fund. Then on the 7th, I spent $35.83 from clothing. I ended up getting some things from Target. On the 9th, I spent $21 for my entertainment fund to buy some OC Fair tickets. Then on the 13th, I paid for 2 things, Laughlin and Las Vegas stay, so I took that out of adventures. I have a lot on the 14th actually. This was when I bought something for Joel for his birthday, so that came out to $92.01. And I also bought myself some clothes. So what I ended up doing here was I only had $64.17 left from clothing, and my order was like $98, I believe. So I ended up getting the rest of the money from clothing, and I took some money out of my allowance sinking fund envelope to cover for that, which ended up working out because I think I rolled over like $41. So it ended up working out there. And then last but not least, I spent the remaining amount that I had in gifts, which was $82.99 for my sister's like birthday present, and the rest was considered an unbudgeted expense. So that's kind of that and that added together, if that makes any sense. So those have been all of my transactions for sinking funds, which has been quite a bit of money, but I am all set with like future trips and fun things that I want to do, like going to the Orange County Fair. Like I've been wanting to do that, as I mentioned in the beginning of the month. So I'm really excited for the next couple of weeks. I did go ahead and book a stay for Laughlin. I didn't mention this, but my uncle, my 2 cousins, and 2 of my aunts are coming from Peru to stay here. So I definitely want to do fun things with my family because I haven't seen them in quite some time. So it's been really nice to be able to do that since I've been saving money and have been stuffing cash envelopes like adventures. So really, really happy about all of these. Of course, I'm not happy about my unbudgeted expense, but that's okay. And last but not least, before I go, I'll show you guys what I have for my variable income page. I did go ahead and receive a small little paycheck from Ebates. So I went ahead and added that as one of my sources. Then for shipping, I've spent this much so far for the month. I've had 2 business expenses, one for PicMonkey and one for the Lash Bar LA. And that's pretty much it. I also started using a new sticky note from the Fox and Pip. I believe she still has these up on her Etsy shop, but I think it's so cute. It's like an Instagram post and it matches this month's colorway, so that makes me really happy. But with that being said, it's going to be it for this weekly check-in video for both week 1 and week 2. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along and catching up with my expenses. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please do not forget to give it a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Bye guys!